I don't know what that was.
Okay, we are recording. Go! Bring it home, boys. Bring it fucking home.
Now say thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for your
Thank
service.
you.
Thank you for your service.
Now, pom pom. Oh, we're back.
It's only been 6 weeks,
Right?
5 weeks. And Marjorie Taylor Greene in the background.
What's that?
I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene in the background there. Hey, did you
Yes,
see her?
yes,
Did you see her at the convention? She was like, "We're gonna make America sane again." So massa, we're gonna make it's massa. But she after everything she said, she went
But
and
you know what though?
John
Give
Stewart
her
goes,
credit. Give her credit. Think about it. Everybody like Trump was like civility, preach civility, and she was probably the one who did not want to do that under any cost or circumstances.
"Fuck liberals,"
and she kind of held it
in. And John Stewart says, "She knows she's making." She's just so proud of herself when she says anything coherent.
Yeah, she was. That's just the smile that she was like every time, like, you know how they tell you, okay, you got to smile, you got to smile. That's what she kept saying in her head, and that, yeah, it was just like, whoa.
Don't forget to smile, Marjorie.
Smile, Marjorie, smile.
Smile, girl, smile. This is what happened.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.
She reached her limit.
But we'll get to him later. But it's been a long couple of weeks.
Nothing really happened in June.
Yeah, I mean,
we had the presidential debate.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. We were probably talking about, hey, we're going to go on vacation,
Who knows what the last video was about, but we finally had the presidential debate, and that was everything it lived up to. Two 80-year-old men discussing things. Trump shitting himself in his diaper.
Though, I think even if you're trying to listen to what Trump is saying, I think I would have been standing there going, because A, how does anybody believe this shit? B, I can't believe people are believing this shit.
They don't believe it.
C, he is saying this shit. And the other one, they're all lies. He's just lying. He's just lying. And they're not calling on him on any of it.
Well, finally, they started this week. Finally, some newspapers saying he's incoherent and he's clearly diminished, and like the New York Times said, the guy's nuts.
Wait, which one?
He's not capable of being president. They've all said it, but Trump is up to his highest approval rating ever. He's at 40%, which is sad. 40% is the highest approval rating, and Biden's at 32.
Yeah, again, I know, and this is what the Democrats are basing, or the Democrat elite are basing everything on, but I don't trust any of the polls. No. I never have. I haven't believed it. I still don't believe them, because every time they're wrong.
I can't believe people are going to vote for a guy who promises to be a dictator, who's going to take your rights away, who's going to push abortion being stopped completely. I mean, J.D. Vance is fucking psycho. He's a fucking.
Like before it happened, I was like, I'm pretty sure. I told my wife, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Vance, just because if you look at. If you think about the way Trump thinks, it's like, oh, he's that guy who had a movie made about him.
Yeah.
so they can watch the movie, right?
Right. And
So
that
that's-
movie's number 2 on Netflix right now.
I've never seen it.
Me
So
either.
that's one. Two, how does Trump Vance look on a poster? It's easy to say. It's pretty good
Trump
on a
Vance.
poster,
It's almost the same as Pence.
right? I was like,
Five
that's
letter.
how he picks things. Does it look good on the poster? How do him and his family? How does he look? How do him and his family look? You know.
And Jon Stewart showed a picture of him and Don Jr. and they said, Vance is his doppelganger.
Yeah, they got the same look anyway.
Yeah. And JD Vance, he was a Marine. That doesn't. But then he met Peter Thiel and was a venture capitalist, so he basically destroyed people's lives then by selling off companies and buying them up and selling the good parts and shit.
I mean, I guess it's hard for me to trust someone who goes on a complete media blitz and media tour, completely trashing Donald Trump. And then whenever it's time that he wants to run he sees there's a open Senate seat in Ohio, just completely flips his lid and all of a sudden becomes beholden and goes back to like some Republican flock.
The Ohio voters are stupid as fuck.
Well,
We're stupid.
you know, I was reading something, and I got to go find it again. That there was a paper written in the 70s that the 5 things that people don't realize is A, how stupid they are, B, how stupid everybody else is, that the amount of people that are stupid that you don't take into account, and it's hard to quantify that.
Yeah. I mean, you could be stupid, politically stupid, and not necessarily stupid in life. Like
Right.
Ben Carson's a fucking moron, but he's a fucking brain surgeon, so he's obviously smart.
Yeah, he's just got wacko beliefs.
Yeah, he's just a nut.
I mean, you know.
I mean,
And
being
you
smart
can be
doesn't mean
both. You
being
can
smart
be
doesn't mean you
you
can't
can
be
be
a
highly
nut.
trained and intelligent and be a nut.
Yeah, I am.
I was
it's
going to
crazy.
do a bit. I'll talk to you about that part later. But anyway,
Go ahead and say it. I want to hear it.
no, it would have been. I was just going to be like, so hey, I don't know if I was like, I got my designated liberal camp card. I'm going to be in zone 346A, and well, you froze up, so now it's.
I'm
Anyway, it lost steam.
I didn't freeze, did I?
Yeah, you froze on my end, but anyway, it lost steam.
No, I think it's great. You're going to say, I'll be in the camp. I'm sure some of you guys will be there too.
Yeah, you know, the
We're
woke
gonna be
lib
putting
camp.
liberal
Yeah, I got my assignment. It's not too bad. It's in an aisle. You know, it's on the end. I don't like to be on the corner, but it's like on the inside. So
They're fucking going to do that. They're going to get us liberals. They're going to prosecute. They'll prosecute some of us just to show the rest of us you better get in fucking line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
I mean,
We're in trouble. People like my neighbors are going to be in charge of shit. My neighbors are dumb as fuck. Not all of them, but directly next to me, dumb as fuck. It all comes down to a lack of a father figure. That's what I think.
But remember, we talked about this before about going to the convention. Only we talked about it in reverse about how I thought maybe they might replace Trump at the convention, and how that basically we'd said that I'd said I don't think the primaries matter that much and I don't know, they're planning to do that Democratic election.
They didn't mean anything this time. You know, they're all bitching and moaning, but they didn't put anybody up when it mattered.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if they really cared about it, or they thought this was an issue, you know, Pelosi and Schumer and all them should have brought somebody. It's because they don't want to give up power themselves. So if
didn't
they
just get
start to
old.
say that he's too old to do it, then that means they're too old to do it.
Right. He didn't just get old. He was old. He was old last year. He was old the year before that.
I just remember it wasn't a problem.
And we're
for
not electing a
Republicans
president.
when-
We're electing an administration.
well, it wasn't a problem for the Republicans when Reagan was in cognitive decline and in the middle of his presidency. It's not like they enacted the 25th Amendment because he was, falling asleep at noon.
Yeah. I don't know where I wish. I mean, I think if he'd have got killed, it would have been worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it would have been so much worse.
They would have put somebody up who just would have ran on the memory of Donald Trump.
I'm not just.
Let's
for the
remember
sake
the
of,
rapist, everybody.
how
Let's-
his people work.
Oh my God.
What's that?
We got so much to talk. The Supreme Court fucked the whole world. The president can do whatever the fuck he wants. It's crazy. There's no way they should have ever ruled that. No way. Immunity to the president.
And it shows you what they're prepping for.
Yeah, they don't want to lose power. It's like you're talking about. They'll pick more conservatives and they'll stay in power. Want to be irrelevant. And that's what will happen. But guess what? They're going to be irrelevant now because the president can do whatever he fucking wants. That means if he wants to kill a Supreme Court member as an official act, it's done. That's what they said was okay.
Yeah, because think about it. If there's, say there's a prosecutor that wants to bring a case against Donald Trump for, let's just say, monuments or, what have you.
Right. Which are legal now.
Monuments are legal now?
As long as it's part of your official act. You can't even investigate it. You can't investigate.
Yeah, even if you bring up the question of it.
You can't talk to the people because they have immunity. The president has immunity.
Huh.
They're lawless now. You can't investigate the president with anybody that's in the office. So how else would you investigate?
So let's talk about that, I guess. How have the executive branch's powers been extended? What has he got now?
If he's doing an official act or presumed official act, doesn't even have to be an official act, a presumptive official act, you have no right to investigate it even. You can't talk to people about it. He's okay. It's clean. So how hard is it to say something is an official act? How hard is that?
Now, can he retroactively make things official act, right, too?
Well, yeah,
In theory?
that's what happened because, like in the case where he's convicted, the judge has to look, has any of that evidence happened while he was in office, and this Judge Marchand has to decide if that was enough to throw the case out or not. The convictions might get thrown out because they used tweets that he made while he was in office. So anything he did in office is no longer prosecutable. What's an official act technically? It's going to be up for each judge in every case to decide. But you have to presume whatever he does, that's what they called it, presumptive immunity. You have to presume he's immune before you even do it. And once you do that, then you can't investigate it.
So effectively, if they're all beholden to, you got the Supreme Court, right, beholden to the President of the United States. You have Congress beholden to the United States, President of the United States, if he gets elected. So they've got them all. So there's no more balance there.
If he wants to kill, like they said, if he wants to send Navy SEAL Team 6 in to kill somebody as an official act to protect the country, it's legal. But Biden, the point is Biden shouldn't let Trump take office.
You know what's crazy? It's not
I mean,
crazy, but it's like
he has the right to stop Trump from ever taking office.
who's that?
Biden does.
Oh, you're
If he
saying
wins the
that if
election,
Biden pulled a Trump and says, I'm not giving up power.
right? There's nothing they can do to stop him.
I mean, and you got to wonder who would be on the side of that thinking, well,
The Supreme Court's already ruled it's okay.
right. But that's not, I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm saying is, let's say Biden decides to do that. I think that there would be a group of people that would be on that side considering what could happen.
Yes.
But then you're in a similar scenario.
You're doing what Trump is going to do.
Exactly. It would
There's
be
been a guy wrote an article. That
no,
Joe
I'm not
Biden,
saying it would be, but that would be that in a
Joe
sense
Biden
that would be another soft coup. But I don't see that happening because
there's an article that says a New York Times, I think, wrote it, that Joe Biden should never let Donald Trump take office. Now that the Supreme Court has ruled this, it would be an official act to save our democracy, to stop a man who said already he's going to be a dictator. He said it. They've got 2025. Have you read the shit in that? That thing's fucking crazy.
No. Now wait a minute there, Marv. Hey,
but
for 2 minutes there, at the beginning, he talked about being united until he rounds everybody up.
Right.
So what? I think it would be what? It's got to be all of his political people first, right? That have ever said anything bad about him gets arrested first.
They're going to get like probably 200 or 300 people and execute them.
The first
That's what
wave.
dictators do. They're going to take. I'm looking for that story. It was an opinion piece, of course, but it was pretty good.
The bigger issue is that once again, the Democrats have found a way to shit the bed.
I agree. I mean, they've already fucked Biden. Biden can't win now.
Well, no, by even coming out and saying anything instead of keeping it private, because they can't keep anything fucking private. Instead of keeping it private and saying, hey, we've got some questions about, how you're doing here, Joe. Instead of being like that, obviously we need some of these idiots to speak to the press. And then there another group who's just Jesus. But the Democrats themselves, I mean, if you've got this problem, bring that problem up, I don't know, before he announces and have serious conversations about it. And if you did, then don't say, hey, I wasn't around him enough. Say, own it and say, well, maybe he went down too fast. Maybe he just had a bad day.
He did have a bad day, but it's not going to
give the
it's like I said, he's still be 81 no matter what. He's going to keep having days like that.
Well, how long has he had COVID? He's had COVID since then.
No, I don't think so.
Because they said he was coughing and stuff and he wasn't feeling very well, right?
Yeah, but you don't keep it that long probably.
But first on the debate, I don't know how they didn't have that man at least a bottle of water, a glass of water, or a lozenge or something. That's my gripe with every time he speaks. They never have the guy any water, and he always seems like he can't, he's always dry-mouthed. I mean, the debate was bad. But I thought Trump was worse because he was just spewing, he was just lying and doubling down on it.
I can't find that story. It's a fucking good story. I can't find it. So we got that. The Supreme Court ruled the president is king. That's basically what they said. And I write those funny stories for $1 Trillion Dreadful, and it goes, oh great, now that the Supreme Court just said the president can execute all the members of the Supreme Court if he wants to. That's what they did.
No.
That's how stupid fucking people they are.
And in theory, he primed these people at the beginning whenever he said, people love me. I can shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and nobody will do anything about it. He primed us all that that's what he was eventually going to be going for, that he could literally do whatever he wanted. So what was their, I didn't read the full thing. What was their justification on how he has that ability? Did they give the justification?
They said the power of the presidency, because if you don't give them immunity, the presidents won't be able to do their job. They'll be afraid of being prosecuted all the time. That was their main point, that you have to give them immunity or the presidents will be in danger of being prosecuted all the time. Get what I mean by that?
Well, no, because unless they're doing illegal acts, so they're saying the job of the president is to do illegal acts?
Yes. They're saying that he has to do some things that are illegal, so you have to give him presumptive immunity. That's what they're calling it, John. They're not calling it immunity. It's you have to presume he's immune. And once you presume it, guess what? He is.
Boy, they've taken everything apart just like piece by piece, haven't they?
Oh, it used to be the president wasn't above the law, remember?
Yeah. No, I mean all of the guardrails, I'm saying, is they're taking them down. All of the guardrails that are like made out of brick and stone, they're just taking them out piece by piece, and they're just keep weakening and weakening it. So that, you know, at any time, this time, that an administrator or something like that wants to stand up to somebody above them and say, you know, I'm not going to do this, then they can just get arrested by the power of the president. Not to say that they probably can't do that now, but I mean, you know, at least there was some oversight.
I wish I could find that fucking story, man. It's so
What
good.
do you think the Democrats are going to do? Do you think they're going to replace Joe Biden?
Yes. I think Biden eventually is going to drop out. But he's going to make it Kamala's. He won't drop out unless that's a condition, probably.
I don't think he should. Do you?
Drop out?
Yeah.
I think we've ruined him. Here's what it reminds me of. I used to coach basketball, right?
Yeah.
And you have a bad team, and then you start panicking, and you start trying every little thing to win. All that happens is your team just gets worse and worse and worse. That's where we're at. No matter what we do, we're fucked. Unless Trump fucks up more, which is a valid premise. Trump can easily fuck this up more.
Okay, other than having a bad debate, what did Joe Biden do? I know the Democrats themselves, what they did and questioning him, but they always do this kind of shit. But what did Biden do specifically other than the debate?
But his interviews have been not good.
See, I just saw clips of the one where he went after Lester Holt, and fuck, I would have went after Lester Holt because that entire goddamn convention, they didn't push back on a single fucking thing that any of the Republicans, things the Republicans saying were just out and out lies. And they're just letting them talk. No pushback, no question. I saw one guy, like, briefly on CBS push back a couple of times. That guy who looks like the dude from The Simpsons, Major Garrett or Garrett Majors. I don't know what his name is, but
yeah,
he was the only one that was, and he was on CBS that like actually pushed back and said, "Well, hey, I just want to say, for all the sake of, you know, they're talking about unity. It was the Republicans and Donald Trump that were making jokes about, you know, Paul Pelosi getting hit in the head with a hammer, and you know, making jokes about the governor of Michigan and shit." And I'm sorry, but I lost a lot a lot of respect for Gavin Newsom.
Why? What did he do?
Do you know who his
Is he-
first wife was?
I didn't think he came out one way or the other.
No. Do you know who his first wife is
No,
or was?
no,
That Kimberly Guilfoyle.
really?
Yeah,
At least he's smart enough to get rid of her.
that was his first wife or one of his wives.
You
I don't know. If
probably
it's
used to
his
be
or not.
liberal.
What's that?
You probably used to be liberal.
Probably, but I mean, she's just. I mean, if you're. I mean, just out there.
Oh, well, she's just like all those Republicans. They
She
were
could be
one
just
thing,
a
and now
star fucker.
whatever they need to, they're what is that? Chameleons, man. They'll change to
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Well, and she really did though. She completely changed her look from whenever she was with him. But yeah, I just
Yeah, I
maybe
can't.
that's why they got divorced. I don't know.
That was such a good fucking story, and I can't find it.
So can you summarize basically what they were saying? This
says-
is New York Times.
Yeah, I don't know for sure now. I can't find it, but
Okay.
basically, it's the Supreme Court says he can stop Donald Trump as an official act. He should never allow them to take over the presidency because they've already declared they're going to end the Constitution. They're going to end democracy. That he's going to become a dictator, and as an official act, he should declare the Insurrection Act and not step down. Which is what Trump said he's going to do the first day. He's going to declare the Insurrection Act, put troops in the street.
And you know what? A lot of these fuckers that are voting for him are all right with it.
Yeah, they want him to be a dictator. It's all right as long as it's, God sent him.
So, okay. So if he wants to take power as a dictator, this is one part I don't. Then why even have the election? And if he loses, why not try to take power anyway?
He will. They've already said they're not. If they lose it, they were cheated. They've already claimed it.
Yeah. So okay.
They're going to say they were cheated no matter what.
And then we're going to have to go through this whole thing over again. And there's just a different way he's going to try to.
No, this will be our last election.
Yeah. So you think that this will be unless he wins, I guess it'll be a peaceful takeover. If he
remember
loses,
what the guy from the Heritage Foundation said? It'll be a bloodless revolution if the liberals allow it.
If the liberals allow it, right? If we go into the camps and stuff like that.
Yeah. If we do whatever they say, it'll be bloodless. I mean, it's scary as fuck.
It is. It is.
I don't know why. Them saying, we will kill you. If we win, we will kill you if you don't do what we say.
And you know what? Their convention or whatever didn't really alleviate my any of my concerns. It was just like
fucking
fucking
Hulk Hogan. What a fucking old moron.
Did you see Kid Rock?
Oh, fucking awful. What a douche.
I mean, it was. It was. There were a lot of there. I saw some people in the audience that were like not with it, but when I forget when JD Vance was talking about how the immigrants need to come over here on our terms, and they need basically saying assimilation. The camera like zoomed in on this Chinese lady, and she was not she was like kind of like looking around, and she was just kind of like, you could tell she was uncomfortable. But that shit show was all sorts of weird. Especially, what was one of the... Did you see their signs? Some of the signs?
I didn't really watch it, to be honest.
See, I hate watched it.
It was really boring. Every time I turned on, it was super boring.
Yeah, and I don't think that I've seen And I'm waiting for the Democrat convention if the media covers it the same way they covered the Republican convention, where they don't push back and ask any questions. They just let them say their spiel. They don't question any of the things
After the
that they say.
convention, a lot of people came out and said it was horrific and it was the most boring thing they've ever seen, and the policies promised were destructive to American democracy. The Times came out and said that, and a couple other newspapers, saying they proved they should not be in power.
I'm talking about CBS, NBC.
Oh, the people actually shown it.
Yeah, the ones that were interviewing the people there on television. At no point in CNN, at no point did they push back on any of the rhetoric. They were just letting them go.
During the debate or at the rally?
The whole time.
Oh. Yeah, I could see that they're trying to be neutral, so they're not taking sides.
That it wasn't neutral. It wasn't taking a side.
No,
it
but
was.
I mean,
It might have been. It might as well have been a TED Talk, an infomercial. And you got Lester Holt up there sitting.
Doesn't sound like you're toning it down. He goes, well, does that mean I should excuse?
That's what. Yeah, that's what. Hey, I was back. Hey, Biden's got the fire whenever he sat back up and every looked Lester Holt in the face and was like, well, what the hell are you doing?
I think Biden's our best chance to win.
I do too.
But
I think
he's so fucked now.
I don't think he's fucked. I think
we did it to
people
ourselves.
I think people know that the Democrats that surround him are spineless weasels. And this is what they do. Every time you think that the Democrats can't fuck it up, they fuck it up. Every time. And then they turn around and they point the fingers at somebody else. They did it the whole time whenever they were whenever you had a presumptive justice up there lying about whether or not that they were going to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Well, here's Van Jones, CNN. He says Biden was stopped by COVID, but a bullet couldn't stop Donald Trump. Like, that's not the same fucking thing. Donald Trump walking around isn't going to give you a bullet in your ear, but he could spread COVID by walking around. Like, oh, so you're saying he shouldn't have gone into what do you call it? When you that's a dumb statement. I'm not. But you know what? It's the thing that these Republicans love. Oh, look, our
Jones lost me a little while ago.
I got this whole ear cut off once, John. Never wore a fucking Band-Aid like that. This sewed it up. Trump didn't need no fucking Band-Aid on his ear either.
I mean, I don't know about all that. I know. Well, I got drugged by a horse up a hill, a rocky hill or whatever, a dirt road.
Yeah.
And I got my. It might have been this year. I can't remember. But I got my ear tore up this side. It ripped it. But no, I didn't get bandage or stitches or anything. But at the same time, I mean, that whole thing. I think that was that's a complete breakdown with the police.
Yeah.
I mean, the police didn't do their job. If you're not paying attention when the kid's walking around and everybody's looking over here, and there's one kid off by himself, measuring shit. Or I don't know,
sitting his drone over the day before.
Or believe people when they say, hey, there's somebody up there on that roof. Believe them.
Yeah.
Believe them. Because I guarantee you there was like 3 or 4 cops that didn't take it seriously at first. And then, you know what the biggest issue was?
What?
The cops were too close to the building and they couldn't see him. So that's why they didn't take it seriously for a while. They had to move back 50 yards or so to then see the kid because he was in the middle of groups. And that was like, well, it made it really hard to get up there and have footing because the metal on top of the roof. And you don't think that that's going to make an assassin who's desperate to kill the president or to cause that's going to stop them? their footing. I mean, it's unbelievable because you had a combination of cops that might not be that bright and Secret Service who took it for granted that the cops knew what they were supposed to do. They assumed that the cops were going to, cover everything. When they came out and said, did you hear that they said that the cops, well, we got the inside covered.
Yeah. They didn't look at the roof. I mean, it's crazy that he could climb up there undetected from 150 yards away and take out a long rifle and shoot at the ex-president. And he turned his head.
The weirdest part is it seems like his motive.
He turned his head to look at a sign.
Right?
And that made him godlike, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. Jesus took his head and Jesus said, hey, look at the sign about racism, promoting racism, Donald. Look at that sign and save your life. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen that T-shirt yet. Jesus moving Donald Trump's head to the right so that
lend me an ear.
Just hits him in the ear.
Friends, Romans, Maga men, lend me an ear. I can't find. I wish it was such a good fucking story, and I can't find anything about it. Oh, do you know why?
Do you suffer from a lack of a father figure? Do you have clinical depression? Have you ever accidentally broken your mom's favorite coffee cup, and when she found out you did it, she tied you to a bed and spanked you with a metal spatula? If you said yes to any of these things, I don't care. And to keep it a bean, no one cares.
No one cares.
I find it strange that this guy's choice of target mattered who was in the area.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's like, I'm going to kill somebody as long as they're within about an hour away because I can't drive much farther.
Apparently, he didn't give a shit about. He did. They said he argued for conservative views. His schoolmates did. So he's more likely more Republican than Democratic, but he wanted to be famous for killing
somebody.
That almost every assassin is never about the actual politics. It's about them. It's about themselves.
Yeah, he never. I mean, I don't.
But you got to admit, it's better than Lincoln now because he did get away with it.
Well, he survived. Yeah.
So he says, "I'm better than Lincoln."
He's better than Lincoln.
Now we got to believe.
Did he say that? Did he say that?
We didn't say it lately, but he's always saying it. He said,
well,
frankly,
now he is.
He goes, I'm the greatest other than Lincoln. And he goes, frankly, I'm better than Lincoln. He said that many times. Frankly, I'm better than Lincoln.
And I think it's odd that are you seeing the people who are saying it's a setup?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
These are QAnon nutbags. I mean, of course they're going to say it's a set. They don't believe we landed on the moon. They don't believe in electricity. They don't believe in gravity. Oh, I'm not following that gravity law.
I don't know that Trump would take a chance to put his life in the hands of a child who couldn't make his own gun club.
He got kicked out of gun club.
And he's going to have that poor ass shot.
Well, I was arguing with a guy online. I thought he could be reached, right? Because he's telling me he seemed rational until we started talking. He's like, well, Biden canceled the oil pipeline. I'm like, that oil was not for America. That was oil to be exported because it was too dirty. Our refineries couldn't clean that oil. We were never going to use that oil. He goes, well, that's not true. I go, and I said, here's something you can Google. We've produced more oil under Biden than we did under any other president. Well, that's not true. It just, no matter what fact you give them, they're like, you're not telling me any facts. I said, these are all facts. Well, they're all facts. You just won't believe them because you won't look them up and because you're full of shit. They're full of shit. Because almost everything Republicans say, you can refute it.
Well, because they're all on Truth Social, or they're all on Parler, or they're on Facebook, or they're on Twitter, where they're going to get some pushback, but a lot of them, they just get reinforcement. That's that has been the exponential, jump is the amount of social media compared to before when it was just they had talk radio.
Right.
Now they have talk radio, they have
And
Fox News,
Oh
and
my
they have
God.
social media.
The WNAR station is so awful here where I live. They're just fucking right-wing conspiracy nuts, all of them. They just lie all day long, lie after lie after lie. And if a liberal calls, all they do is not let him talk and say you're wrong, and they have no evidence that he's wrong. They just, you're wrong.
I've seen sometimes where they've tried to throw up facts or whatever, but it's always like a rebuttal from the first story. It's never going further down. It's like the first.
Well, what about Hillary
when it's a lie? You know?
Oh, whataboutism. They never refute the actual thing you're talking about. They pull up some other crazy bullshit thing that they're talking
or Biden took a shower with his daughter or sister. I don't know what the fuck.
He showered with his daughter till she was 13, they said. And that's not what they said, by the way, but they assigned that age to it. Some families do shit like that.
I know.
I don't think it's right, but
I don't know that I would do that either, but I don't even shower with the boys. I mean, they just take the bath. I mean, what the fuck?
Right. They would never get any shower water. They would be standing there all soaked up forever.
Right? I mean, just take a goddamn bath. Why do we got to do it together? This is... All right.
Where'd you go for vacation?
Oh, sweet home Alabama. Not so much, but it was sweet Alabama. I almost got into it with a guy at a pizza restaurant.
Over what?
Well, we're sitting there waiting for. He was the owner of the place or whatever, and I think I had a Bears hat on or something, and he said he had mentioned he was giving us his whole story about the place because they hadn't opened that long, and he said he's from Oklahoma, and I was like, oh, you must be a Sooners fan, a Caleb Williams fan. He was like, oh, well, I was till he up and left. Him and that Lincoln Riley can both suck ass as far as I'm concerned. This is the owner of the pizza place who I'm trying to buy pizza off of. He's like, I don't like him because he paints his nails. And I was just like, well, I couldn't really give a shit whether or not he paints his nails or not as long as he can throw the football. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, we went to Europe. On our first day in Spain, my wife got her phone pickpocketed. She was wearing one of those front purses that strap on.
Yeah.
They got her phone. I got on the bus to look to see if maybe she dropped it. And as I'm getting off the bus, a guy reached his hand in my pocket to steal my phone.
Oh, shit.
And I caught him because a lady goes, oh, and I looked over and I hit his arm and the phone dropped. He goes, oh, your phone was dropping. I was trying to help you. So I picked up my phone and I said, I'm just going to beat the fuck out of you. He goes, oh, no, you can't touch me. I says, I just want to smash your little fucking face. I said, I'm going to take you by the head and just beat the shit out of you. And he goes, what? No. I was trying to help you. And I said, I knew I couldn't do anything because I didn't want to get arrested in Spain. And the violence is way more than they don't give a shit about. I talked to a cop. He didn't give a shit about me being pickpocketed.
Yeah.
He didn't care at all that I got my phone almost stolen. They would have believed the guy. My phone was falling and he was just helping me out.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill him though so bad, John. I mean, I don't know how violent I am until something like that happens.
What happened with your wife's phone?
It was stolen and we never found it.
So what'd you guys end up doing? I mean, did she have anything compromised or what?
Oh, well, Apple lets you erase it remotely. So we did that right. We did that right away. So we did get her debit card was stolen here in the States last week, as a matter of fact, and someone bought a bunch of stuff on Facebook. But most of it didn't go through, and we caught them before any of it was approved. So I don't know why the bank paid one of them. I'm like, why would you pay it? I don't understand why you paid it. He said, because we told you it was stolen.
They probably just
And
didn't get it in
and it was
time.
still pending. I said, why pay it?
Oh,
It was $736 they got for that. They also tried to get $712.45.
now you don't have to pay that, do you? Since you had canceled it.
Well, I don't know. They're investigating the 736. They said that we may have to pay it.
Fuck them.
I don't know. That's under investigation. The others never left my account, so I don't have. That's okay. It's okay. The first one did. The only reason I knew about it because the $712 was refused, and they put the money back in my account, and I got a notice of a deposit.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would I be getting $700? That's when I got online and saw that her card was being used. But
Oh,
she didn't have that card on her phone.
yeah.
So I don't think it had anything to do with that. So
So did
but
you
then
guys
we went
get
to
when you were in Spain? Did you see any of the protests? Because I saw protests of tourists in Spain.
no. I didn't. We went to the Joan of Arc National Cathedral. That was beautiful. We went to Parkwell, which is an amazing park they have in Spain. The guy that designed it is like a visionary. Everything in it was designed to capture water and send it somewhere else. And the seats were built that way. Everything. It was just a fantastic park. Beautiful. All the architecture was gorgeous. Then we went to Italy. We went to 3 places the first day. An almond farm. We ate a lot of gelato. The food in Italy was so good. We went to the big square in Italy, and then the second day we went to the Vatican City. And
Okay.
we went in the Vatican. We saw that. We saw the Michelangelo picture and toured the whole building. It's big. It's huge. They stole a lot of stuff to fill that up with stuff. The Catholics stole a lot of stuff from artists all over the world and from the Middle Ages and from they gutted the Colosseum, which we went and saw that. They took all the art from there and put it in the Vatican.
Huh.
So, I mean, they weren't shy about stealing stuff. That's for sure. We saw the Colosseum. We saw that. We saw Petersburg Square. Is it Petersburg? St. Peter's Square, where the Pope comes and gives speeches.
I don't know.
And then we went to Pompeii the last day in Italy. Pompeii was amazing. They've got it much more of it. It used to be you could go and see it, but now they've got much more of it excavated, so you can see a lot of the former city there now. They got walls up, and they dug out buildings and restaurants and stuff. And then they casted the people's bodies that they found in the ashes. You could see what they were doing as they died. Had some dogs there that they casted, so you could see what happened. And I didn't even realize exactly what it was. That volcanic 30 feet of ash just fell on top of people and froze them in place. It wasn't lava that killed them. The volcanic ash fell on top of them, and they were just frozen in place. Whatever they were doing, it buried them. It was pretty amazing. And then we came home.
And so all these years later, they kept all that intact so that they could have a really good tourist attraction.
Yes.
That's some forethought right there.
The food in Italy, though, was just so good. Like they don't use preservatives or anything. And it wasn't that expensive either.
Imagine that. You mean if you don't inject it with a bunch of junk and bullshit, not only does it taste better, but it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I'll be goddamn.
Oh, they did charge you to sit down, and they charge you for water.
They charge you to sit down
$5
at the restaurant?
€5 to sit down, and €3 for water.
Because most people are getting a takeout?
I don't know. No, we all sat down, so no.
I guess that's because of the economy of space.
Probably don't tax stuff. They say you don't tip, over there, but then everybody expected a tip. So I don't know what happened with that. Something changed.
Huh.
They said you don't
Well,
tip when we first
I guess
got
they
there.
expect a tip because they're like, look, you're American, you're used to it. So
Everyone told me don't tip when you go over there, and then they all wanted tips. They expected tips.
Huh.
So I'm like, I don't get it. You said don't tip. We didn't tip as much, but we tipped. So
did they specifically tell you when to tip at the restaurant or what?
I mean, they put it on your thing. It said tips are uh, uh, appreciated, signs like that.
Oh,
So I don't know. We're already there. We already spent $8,000. We're gonna cheat some leader out of €5 or something. You know what I mean?
right.
But like I bought a Coke in one place, it was €4.50, €4.50 for a little can of Coke, not even a big can. I'm like, oh, I should have bought a fucking beer. The beer was €6.
How are the prices in the grocery stores? Were they the same?
I didn't go in there. I was on a cruise ship, so I didn't need anything.
Oh. You can't bring any of that stuff on with you?
I mean, you could bring. I don't know what you could. I never tried, so I don't know. Probably could bring food on. You can't bring liquor on.
It's always good though, whenever you're, at least I felt this way anyway. Whenever you're really far from home and you find the Coke and you're able to drink it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I did eat at a Burger King there in Spain.
Oh yeah. What did they have anything different on there?
They called it different names and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty much the same.
Same.
The onion rings were different name. I didn't know the names for everything. So I didn't know. I don't know any Spanish or Italian, so we got a lot of things happening that were not good. Like we got our phone stolen. That was bad.
Well, when you were at Burger King, was there a difference in taste?
No, it was cheaper though. Cheaper than
was
here.
it?
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't because it's euros. I think it was $9 for a number one meal with no cheese. That's probably about the same, right?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, probably.
The beer in Spain was a lot cheaper. It was like $2 for a big glass of beer.
Oh, really?
€2. That was a good deal. We stayed in
The
a
food
nice
good
hotel.
in Spain? Food was better in Spain or Italy?
Italy.
Yeah.
I didn't eat as much in Spain, but Italy was better. The cruise went fine. It was fun. The cruise ship was fun. Everything went great.
Good.
Besides getting our phone stolen.
Yeah, all back safe and sound.
We came back and we landed in Philadelphia as a transfer.
Mhm.
They made us leave the airport, walk outside around the airport with our luggage. You had to take the luggage that was checked in already. You had to take it and recheck it in Philadelphia.
Huh.
And then they said, you got to catch your flight. The lines here are too long. You need to walk around the airport to the other side where there's no lines. So we left the airport, actually physically left the airport, walked outside down the sidewalk and went back in the airport and had to go through security again. But
I probably would have found a way to fuck that up and not even been able to make the trip.
It was faster to physically leave the airport in Philadelphia, which I've never heard of anybody having to do before. Once you're on a flight, you just go in and you go to the next gate.
Yeah.
It was weird. In London, we thought one member of our group we thought they were getting bumped up to the first class. They pulled them out to screen them for drugs.
Did you visit London?
No, we just went to Heathrow Airport. That was part of the. We flew from Cleveland to New York, to Heathrow. No time there. Just get on the plane and went right to Barcelona. Then we came back from Barcelona to Heathrow to Philadelphia to Cleveland. The flights were like $1,300 each, but we did get the hotel room for one night with that. Was it just one night?
Well, you have fun though, right?
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
You know what? I think we were there 2 nights at the airport. I mean, the hotel. Yeah, I think we had 2 nights. We did. Would I do it again? No. Too much money.
Oh yeah.
I could have really used $8,000, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll never forget it.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, though. I don't want to go back. I didn't have that good of a time. Here's the thing: a cruise ship is great. You get to see a lot of stuff, but you don't get to see it long, and you don't get. It's all fast, and you got to move on. You know what I mean? And one thing that was cool though was watching the skinny roads these big buses were on, and in Italy, everybody drives crazy. They cut each other off. No one gets angry. Cutting people off is expected. It's like, wow. I didn't understand how they were driving. One day we rode in, it was called Roman limos. We hired a limo to take us around because it was actually cheaper than the tour. And it was much better to do that. I recommend doing that if you ever go to something like that.
Do
Like
what then? Rent a what?
Rome in Limos was the
Yeah.
company's name. The guy was like a tour guide, even though we didn't hire a tour guide, but he told us everything. He picked us up and took us. They got us. We jumped the line at the Vatican and at the Colosseum. You get in faster. It's a much better deal than getting on the cruise ships stuff. But the only thing is, when you're at the cruise ship stuff, if it's such a tight timeline, if something goes wrong, they'll wait for you. You know what I mean? But if you're on your own, they'll just fucking leave you. So.
Yeah, I know. And I think we may go this route eventually. I'm not saying anytime soon, but I know, you know Kristen and Elton. They did that Rick Steves trip. I think they went to
Who's Rick Steves?
Paris. So he's a big PBS tour guide.
Oh, okay.
And he does like, I don't know. I don't know if it's all inclusive, but he does like an all encompassing like tour through his thing. I think that's what we would do if we would ever go over there. But you were talking about the driving. Driving in Asia is also crazy. The amount of things that they're able to stack on bikes, I don't know how they do it.
Necessity is a mother invention, right?
Yeah, I mean they no shoes on, driving around on motorbikes and stuff, and kids on the back, like 3 of them just zooming along. No helmets. I mean,
well, it's good that we did this again. Our fans are going to be pretty worried about us.
Oh yeah, super worried.
You ready to wrap it up?
Get to half the shit we want to talk about anyway.
What do we want to talk about that we didn't get?
Well, I guess more convention, just Trump's whack job speech and everything like that. But he was going on forever. Did you watch any of that?
He lost Nick Fuentes, that racist crazy guy said, "I'm not going to support Trump" after hearing that speech.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said, "I'm disowning Trump." A lot of his donors have cut him off, saying, we're not supporting that." Can you believe that? He actually has been getting ripped over the coals for what he's saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, he also brought in Project 2025's like a little buddy. I mean,
yeah,
it's just, and you know what? So I don't want to hear any arguments anymore about, oh, well, you got these elites in the Democratic Party. What do you think J.D. Vance has turned himself into?
Yeah, Elon Musk, $45 million a month he's going to give Trump.
I mean,
Elon Musk, $45 million a month.
So they don't want these people that go to Ivy League schools. J.D. Vance went to Yale.
Yeah. They always do that shit. All of their candidates went to Yale and Harvard and shit. But they talk like this, John.
Right. They changed their, like, was it John Kennedy in Louisiana?
They play stupid.
Yeah.
And my brother, he loves to talk about how ignorant I ain't educated. And I said, "Well, you went to the same fucking schools I went to, and none of us talk like we were from fucking South Carolina either." Where do you get that? Oh, I lived in Cambridge, so that's why I talk like this now. Cambridge, Ohio.
Right?
It's still north.
I don't get it either.
They put that affect in there. It's crazy.
But you're with me that they should keep Biden, right? But you just don't know how they should.
I mean, I think he's ruined now. I don't know how they can keep him now since everything you do now is going to come back. Well, didn't you hate him? Didn't you say he should drop out? How can you vote for someone like that? I mean, it's not rational what's happening now. So,
do you think Kamala Harris can beat Donald Trump?
Yeah. But I think Joe had a better chance. I think there's going to be a lot of people who don't like black people who vote against Kamala. They won't say they don't like black people, but they don't. And especially a woman.
Is there a chance that the Democrats completely replace the ticket?
I think there is, because someone found a loophole that said you could do it and still get the money that's in their account.
See?
Someone found that loophole.
But
before it was, well, even if he drops out, the money still goes to that administration. But now they said there's a loophole. Oh, by the way, I got a hole in one.
So,
a couple weeks ago.
In a sense, what is this? Oh, yeah, you got a hole in one. I saw that on
got a 75
on Facebook. Very good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. Yay, me.
Yeah, that's big. But real quick, oh shit, I completely lost my train of thought. But
about Kamala. And
yeah, well, back to, hey, primaries don't fucking matter.
Apparently not.
None of that shit matters.
It never really did. They've always rigged the primary anyways to pick who they wanted. They rigged it against Bernie because Bernie was going to win.
I think that the Democrats are going to find a way to fuck it up, and I think that they're going to try to replace the whole ticket. And I think that might be a big mistake.
Here's my hope. I mean, the fact that they're still anti-abortion and they're still anti-American and all that stuff may still allow us to beat them, because they're really horrible people. The Republicans are horrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no getting around that. You just had to watch the snooze fest from the last couple of days and see that. I mean, Larry Wilmore said it perfectly. It was like a bad white trash barbecue or something. It was rough. It was weird. It was so weird.
It was. All right. You ready to wrap it up? Come on, boys. Yep. Take us out, boys.
And I say we get our schedule together on what mics we want to go to and stuff.
Okay, I haven't written anything and done any comedy at all. So.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I've went up like once, so thank you. No, good work today. Let me know your camp assignment so we can, keep in contact.
Yavo.